If you look at the organizations behind Climate Consortium Denmark, they represent, I would say, between 80 and 90% of all Danish companies. So you have the entire Danish business and industry behind, more or less, the consortium. We have a long tradition in Denmark for close cooperation between government and private business. They are not adversaries. If you compare Denmark to many other countries, Mediterranean countries, there's a wide gap between industry and government. But we are so accustomed to working together, so it's not new for Danish business to team up with the government. We would like to have as many people around the world, commercial decision makers and politicians, of course, know what it is Denmark actually can do in climate and energy. What kind of solutions do we have? What kind of competences do we have at our universities, etc. And that's really our task, to make it known around the world. First, I think you have to look back at what happened in Denmark in the 70s when we were hit by the first oil crisis here. Just like the rest of the world, we were very severely affected. The government had to introduce energy taxes, very high energy taxes, to cut down consumption. And unlike many other countries, once the oil crisis was over, the Danish government decided to keep up the high energy taxes. So we have been accustomed to having very, very high energy prices in Denmark since 1973. The government at the same time used the stick and carrot approach toward not only the Danish public but also to companies. The stick being the high energy taxes and the carrot being various kinds of subsidies. Subsidies for house renovations, subsidies for energy efficiency improvements in companies, etc. And that actually gave birth to not only the wind turbine industry but also to a nation of Danes being very energy conscious and very energy efficient in their homes. We have district heating now. It also came out of the oil crisis. Now we are also talking about district cooling in Denmark. And there's a pilot project in the city of Copenhagen now where we use water.
Radiant cooling.
Where we use water from the harbor for some of the big companies. The water is used for cooling in the summertime. You also have new thermostats or relatively new thermostats on your radiators. In some countries you still regulate the heat by opening the window.
Yeah.
If it gets too hot, you open the window and let the cold air in. That's not what we do here. We have some very sensitive thermostats. We have the producer Danfoss, as I mentioned earlier, which is a world leader on it. There's a little sensor which you adjust the thermostat to the temperature you want in your home, and then it will actually directly via this sensor make sure that the temperature is kept at this level. We have seen steady increase in total exports of climate and energy related products, etc. In 2008, total Danish exports of climate and energy related goods came to approximately $12.5 billion, and only a few years ago it was down to 3 or 4 billion. So there's been a tremendous increase. Unfortunately now we can see that some of the international markets are more or less collapsing because nobody really dares do anything before they know will there be an agreement in Copenhagen or not.
Right.
So much hinges on the outcome of Copenhagen, but expectations are high. Personally, I think much of the discussion now is what should we be doing by 2050.
Right.
But in order to reach that by 2050, we have to set a lot of things, have them going already in 2015, for instance. So in the short run, we have some very big challenges, and that's what also we are going to show at the Bell Center. The baseline is, I think, that either we sink together or we swim together, and swimming, you do that best by teaching everybody how to do it.
Yeah.